that generally when I look at a trip to New Hampshire in October, I'm not thinking it's going to look like this. But this is spectacular. It's good to be back.
Signs down.
And it's good to be with a great friend and an outstanding governor, Governor Lynch. Please give him a big round of applause. I love you back. And I love your outstanding Senator Jeanne Shaheen. Jeanne was especially happy because it was her granddaughter, Ellie, who sang the national anthem today. Give Ellie a big round of applause. Days, New Hampshire. 19 days. In 19 days, you're going to step into a voting booth, and you've got a big choice to make. It's not just a choice between two candidates or parties. It's about two different visions for this country that we love. You know, Governor Romney's got a sales pitch. Yeah. He's been running around talking about his 5-point PowerPoint plan for the economy. But as we saw the other night, it's not a 5-point. What he's selling is not a 5-point plan. It's really just a 1-point plan. Folks at the top get to play with a different set of rules than you do. Don't boo now, vote. They can pay lower taxes. They can keep their money offshore. They can buy companies loaded up with debt, lay off workers, strip their pensions, send their jobs overseas. They can still make money doing it, turning a big profit. It's the same philosophy that's been squeezing middle-class families for more than a decade. It's the same philosophy that got us into this mess. For the last 4 years, I've watched the American people, with their resilience and resolve, overcoming the pain and struggle of dealing with the consequences of the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression. We've worked too hard to let this country go down that path again. From the top down. This economy grows from the middle out. When everybody has ladders of opportunity. If they work hard, they can succeed. They can get ahead. That's how we move ahead. But when workers have a decent living, have a little money in their pockets, that means they're out there as customers buying goods, and that means businesses do better. That means businesses make more profits, then they hire more workers. Exactly! That's how you grow an economy. That's why we can't go backward. That's why we've got to move forward. That's why I'm running for a second term as president. You know, on Tuesday, Governor Romney took another stab at trying to sell us this $5 trillion tax cut that favors the wealthy. He took another swing at it, and he whiffed. Instead of telling us how he paid for it, he said, I'll let you know after the election. And then when I asked him about it, he said, I'm a businessman. I know the numbers will work. Take my word for it. Now, I'm going to let you in on a little tip. When a politician tells you he's going to wait until after the election, it's not because their plan is so good that they don't want to spoil the secret. That's usually not what's going on. Everybody who's looked at his tax plan says he can't pay for it without blowing a hole in the deficit or raising your taxes, raising taxes on the middle class. Don't move. Oh. So then Governor Romney says he's got another plan to create 12 million jobs in the next 4 years. But when folks started crunching the numbers, his jobs plan fell apart even faster than his tax plan. Washington Post called it a bait and switch. A bait and switch. So let's recap. He's got a tax plan that doesn't add up. He's got a jobs plan that doesn't create jobs. He's got a deficit plan that doesn't reduce the deficit. Listen, New Hampshire, you've heard of the New Deal? You've heard of the square deal and the fair deal? Mitt Romney's trying to sell you a sketchy deal. We don't need a sketchy deal. We know better. Because the last time this sketchy deal was tried was in the previous administration. Made the same sales pitch. Told you the same stuff. Look, if we cut these taxes, the economy's going to grow so much, you know, deficit's going to come down. Don't worry about it. It's like they said we didn't have to pay for 2 wars. It didn't work. That's why you're not buying it. We have been there. We've tried it. We're not going back. We're moving forward. I need your help to finish what we started in 2008. Some commitments 4 years ago. I told you I'd end the war in Iraq, and we did. I said we'd end the war in Afghanistan. We are. I said we'd refocus on the terrorists who actually attacked us on 9/11, and we have. And today, a new tower rises above the New York skyline, and Al-Qaeda's on the path to defeat, and Osama bin Laden is dead. 4 years ago, I promised to cut middle-class taxes, and we have, at $3,600. I promised to cut taxes for small business owners, and we have, 18 times. And by the way, you know, you'll hear Governor Romney talk about small businesses. What he doesn't tell you is his definition of small businesses includes Donald Trump. Includes hedge fund managers. Don't move. Oh. We got back every dime used to rescue the banks. And then we passed a law to end taxpayer-funded Wall Street bailouts for good. 4 years ago, I said, in this great country of ours, nobody should go bankrupt when they get sick. And so we passed health reform. Yes, I like the name Obamacare. So your insurance companies can't jerk you around anymore. So young people can stay on their parents' plans. We repealed Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Because anybody who's willing to sacrifice and serve this country we love shouldn't be prevented because of who they love. When Governor Romney said we should let Detroit go bankrupt, we said, no thanks, we're not going to take that business advice. We reinvented a dying auto industry that's come roaring back to the top of the world. Governor Romney trying to claim that I did what he advised. Did you hear that? Unbelievable. country knows that's not what he said. He just went ahead and said it. Today, 4 years after the worst economic crisis of our lifetimes, we're moving forward again. After losing 800,000 jobs a month when I took office, our businesses have added more than 5 million new jobs over the past 2.5 years. Unemployment has fallen from 10% to 7.8%. Home values are back on the rise. The stock market's nearly doubled. Manufacturing's coming home. Our assembly lines are getting back to work. We need to keep moving forward. We've got more work to do. That's why I'm running for a second term. So look, we have more work to do, though. I will not be satisfied until everybody who wants to work hard can find a job. And that means we've got to have a plan to grow not just the economy and create jobs, but create good jobs and provide security for the middle class. So number one, I want to send fewer jobs overseas, sell more products overseas. Governor Romney has no problem giving tax breaks to companies that are shipping jobs overseas or outsourcing. But I want to reward companies that are investing right here. Investing in New Hampshire, investing in Manchester, insourcing, opening new plants, hiring new workers, creating new jobs right here in America. That's what we need to do. I want to control more of our own energy and how we use energy. You know, after 30 years of doing nothing, we raised fuel standards. So by the middle of the next decade, your cars and trucks will go twice as far on a gallon of gas. We've doubled the amount of renewable energy we generate from sources like wind and solar, even as we've increased the production of oil and natural gas. So today, America is less dependent on foreign oil than any time in the last 2 decades. Think about that. Our oil imports are going down. So, now you've got a choice between a plan that reverses this progress or one that builds on it. You know, Governor Romney feels comfortable with taxpayers providing oil companies $4 billion a year in taxpayer-funded corporate welfare. No, we're not going to vote. We're going to vote. But you know what? I understand why you wouldn't be happy with that idea, because we should be taking that $4 billion and investing it in the energy sources of tomorrow. Right? We don't want China to win the race for clean energy technology. We want that technology developed here in the United States of America. And by the way, those investments not only create good jobs here at home, create new industries here at home, but it also reduces the carbon pollution that's eating our planet. Climate change is not a hoax. Droughts and floods and fires, they're not a joke. They are a threat to our children's future, and we've got to deal with it in a serious way that also grows our economy. We can do that. Number 3, I want the best education system in the world right here in the United States. Michelle and I are only where we are because of the chance an education gave us. And today, because of the actions my administration took, millions of students all across the country are paying less for college. Well, we took a system that was wasting tens of billions of dollars on banks and lenders. We said, let's cut out the middleman. Give the money directly to the students, and as a consequence, young people are getting a better deal. Now, Governor Romney wants to reverse some of these choices. He wants to gut some of our investment in education to help pay for this $5 trillion tax cut. I think we should I think we should make sure that we are doing more in education, hiring new math and science teachers so that they can get the lead in the technology that's going to shape our economy in the future. Provide job training for 2 million more workers at community colleges. Work with colleges and universities to keep tuition low. That's my agenda for change. That's what we need to do. We can have that future, but you've got to vote. That's why I'm running for a second term. I suspect we've got some teachers in the audience. Governor Romney said hiring more teachers won't grow our economy. Then he said class size doesn't matter. He said class size doesn't matter. There's not a teacher or a parent who doesn't believe this. You know, making sure that our kids are thriving in math and science, where we know there are going to be more jobs, that will